a weight, and I just want to see if you can see my holes. So here's what we're gonna start here. So if you take that pillow that you just showed me, I'm gonna roll a blanket to be like your pillow. You're gonna put the pillow down underneath your chest, and you're gonna come to laying on your stomach and cross your forearms and rest your forehead on your forearms. And I just have to check my speaker. So I just want to get you move. I know it's not really going to feel like moving, but it is moving. Yep. So you're going to rest your chest on the pillow. Hi, Dougie. And you're going to rest your forehead on your hands or your forearms. So it looks like this. The pillow is going to go underneath your chest, and you're going to cross the forearms and rest the forehead on the forearms. You might be able to do this without the pillow, but it might be more comfortable with the pillow. And then what I'd like you to do with your forehead resting on your hands or your forearms, so either stack one hand on top of the other or forehead or forearms on top of the other. Yep, rest your forehead on your hands. Does that feel reasonably comfortable? Yeah. Okay, and then this is called crocodile pose. And first of all, it's a subtle back. But the intention here is to connect with the breath. So with the forehead resting comfortably on the hands, what I'd like you to do is start to pay attention to your breathing. And if it's comfortable for you to breathe in through the nose and to breathe out through the nose, that would be calming for the body.
I can do that.
Excellent. So just rest the forehead comfortably on the hands. Can you bring the hands flat? Yes, like that. Okay, nice. So now the shoulders can relax because the chest is supported and the body's completely supported by the floor. So this is called crocodile pose. And first of all, because the body's supported by the floor, it's a beautiful opportunity to root and ground down, to feel supported by the earth beneath us. We're living in very uncertain times. It's like someone pulled the rug out from under us. So grounding can be super helpful. Another thing that this pose does, and the reason that I have you in it, is because I want you to pay attention to your belly. So as you inhale, you'll feel the belly pressing into the floor. And as you exhale, you might feel the belly gently draw away from the floor. And so we know that yoga is good for, it's good for everybody, right? And it's good for everybody because it builds strength and flexibility and balance, right? So it's good for us in a physical way, but it's also good for us in a mental, emotional way. And I finished a healing emphasis yoga training program, a 2.5-year program in 2019. So it went 2016 to 2019. And in that therapeutic yoga program, there was not a single mention of Parkinson's. So when I got asked maybe a year ago to teach a Parkinson's class for the J, I went looking to all my therapeutic yoga authors to see what they had to say about Parkinson's. And there was very little. There was no reference to it from Iyengar. There was no reference to it from Gary Kraftstow, who I consider like one of the grandfathers, or maybe the father of yoga therapy. His teacher, Desikachar, was really the grandfather of yoga therapy, or maybe Iyengar before that. So recently I got 2 books out of the library I was delighted to find. One is called Yoga for Parkinson's Disease. So if you're interested, I'm going to return it, you could find that. And the second one was from Harvard Medical School, A Guide to Yoga. And in this big, thick book on the Guide to Yoga, there's 1 paragraph on Parkinson's disease. So what you're doing here is you're breathing, you're letting the belly press into the floor as you inhale and come away from the floor as you exhale. And what we know in pulling from the book from Harvard Medical School, we know that Parkinson's affects muscle tone and flexibility, but it can also cause depression and a negative outlook. Some small studies have found that yoga can help improve depression, blood pressure, body weight, and lung function. Super important for this pandemic, the state that we're in now, not just Parkinson's, but Parkinson's plus pandemic. So I went to the Brian Grant Foundation, and their words were so interesting, I wanted to repeat them. It says, yoga can help the mind shed unhealthy thought patterns, and it builds mental muscle that can make it easier to cope with the unpredictability of life with Parkinson's disease. The practice of yoga involves breathing, that's why you're in the pose that you're in, and other techniques to bring deliberate but non-judgmental attention to the thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations of the present moment. With a regular yoga practice, people can become more aware of the human tendency to quickly judge our everyday experiences and respond with negative, unhelpful patterns of thinking. Combining awareness with acceptance of experiences provides a wider, calmer perspective on stressful situations and helps squash negative emotions before they can take hold. So my intention for today's practice was as much about the mind as about the body. And the way we begin to cultivate a calm, quiet mind is with the breath. So it requires a healthy breath, a breath that's free of noise and jerk and shakiness, a breath that's not shallow, and a breath that's free of pauses. And that might sound very simple, but most of us breathe in a very unhealthy way. And with the practice of yoga, specifically these breathing exercises, we can strengthen our diaphragm, we can strengthen our upper respiratory system, right? We've got this major virus affecting the lungs for people. So here, very simple exercise. As you breathe and the belly expands, you feel it pressing into the floor. And as you exhale, you feel the belly come away from the floor. It gives you the feedback of the floor to draw the breath down into the belly. So shallow breathing is in the chest breathing, and deep, full, slow, steady breaths come down into the belly. So take 3 more breaths there. Just notice what you feel, right? And remember, we practice without judgment. So don't worry about what you can do or you can't do. Just see if you can have fun with it. And most of us are used to breathing in a very shallow way, just in the top lobes of the lungs, specifically, even more so with Parkinson's, because it tends to be a tendency to hunch over, and it's harder for the diaphragm to move. So here the intention is to actually strengthen the diaphragm. So after you've taken your 3rd breath, you can roll onto your back. So you can move that pillow that you're using out of the way for the moment, roll onto your back, and if you have a heavy book, did you find a heavy book or no? Yep. If you have a heavy book, we're going to use a heavy book like a sandbag. So bring it right next to you so you actually hold on to it so you don't have to reach for it again. Come on to laying on your back, and first bend your knees and bring the soles of the feet to the floor. So your knees are bent, the feet are on the floor. Rest your heavy book on your belly. So you're going to check in with your lower back. If your lower back feels okay, you might straighten your legs. If there's any discomfort in the lower back, just rebend the knee. Then bend your elbows and bring your palms facing each other, fingertips towards the ceiling. So we're going to bend the elbows. The upper arm is on the floor, and the lower arm is perpendicular to the floor. And then press the upper arms into the floor. So your shoulders come off the floor. Roll your shoulders back, and then place them back down on the mat. And then lengthen the back side of the skull towards what's behind you. Then you can lower the arms back down to the floor. As you inhale, feel the belly, maybe lift the book that's on your belly. And as you exhale, notice how the belly falls. So all we're doing here is we're using a book instead of a sandbag. If we were in the studio, we would be using a sandbag. But this weight is again giving us feedback, but this weight is actually helping to strengthen the diaphragm, to strengthen our breath. And so notice without judgment if the breath gets stuck or sticky or if it's shaky, right? Notice if it's smooth or even. Notice if you lost the nostril breathing. So if you can, breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose. That helps us to contain our heat. Notice if your mind is racing all over the place, and just come back to paying attention to the breath. Notice how the belly rises, presses into the book as you inhale. And notice how the belly deflates and the book comes down as you exhale. So these are two exercises very helpful for helping to quiet the mind, right? We're building a slow and steady breath.
One of the things that's hard for me is when my head is not higher than my body.
So let's come out of this. We could use the pillow underneath your head, but for the moment, let's bring the book to the side carefully. Bend your knees. Roll to one side. Use your bottom arm as a pillow for your head. And then press yourself up to all fours. Right? All fours is a tabletop position. So a tabletop position means we have the knees right underneath the hips, and we have the wrists right underneath the shoulders. The hands might be a little wider than shoulder distance apart. Good. Now press the hands into the floor and gently draw them back towards yourself. Do you feel how the muscles engage? And gently press the knees down and draw them towards your wrists. Feel your belly engage? All right, these belly muscles start to come on, fire. So here we're going to wake up the spine. So as we inhale, arch the back, let the tailbone curl up and let the heart space lift. And as you exhale, round the back, draw the tailbone down, draw the belly button back towards the spine and round the back. That's called the cat pose. It's like a scared cat on Halloween. Good. Inhale and arch. The tailbone will curl up. The belly softens. And think of the heart space coming forward more than coming up. And exhale and round. Draw the tailbone down towards your crease behind your knees and draw the belly button back towards the spine. Good. How are the wrists there? The wrists feel okay?
Yeah, they're okay.
Okay, so are you getting what I'm doing here? Because I can't see you that well. Inhale and arch. Belly falls towards the floor. Exhale and round. Belly button back to the spine. And let's do one more like that. Inhale, arch. Press the hands down, draw back. It'll draw the heart forward a little bit more. Exhale and round. Good. Come on back to a neutral spine. So a neutral spine, that's that place right in between. And imagine you're drawing your hip points towards one another and your pubic bone towards your breastbone. And then slide your right leg back behind you with the toes curled under. So you see the arms have to start to work a little bit here to hold yourself here. Can you press through the right heel down towards the floor till you feel a stretch in the back side of the right leg? You feel that? Can you keep the hips over the knee? Or the left hip over the left knee? Yeah? Good. Now lift the right foot back behind. So now we're balanced on 3 points. Yep, so we've got the right foot floating off the floor. How does that feel, okay?
Okay.
Yep. Can you draw the hip point towards one another? Draw the belly in, make sure the belly's engaged. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, can you bring your knee into your chest? Good, stretch it back out again. Nice, knee into your chest. Stretch it back out again. Good, knee into your chest. Stretch it back out again. Good, now lower it down. Second side, stretch the left leg back behind. Toes curl under, press the heel back. Press the heels of the hands down and towards you. So there's this sense of kind of coming forward and coming back. Can you draw the heel a little closer to the floor? Do you feel the stretch behind the left leg?
Yeah.
Yeah. And ankle, I've got a lot of students with tight or uncomfortable ankles from all the walking they're doing.
Yeah.
Good, so we're just stretching the calf there. Now lift the left leg off the floor. Good, big inhale. Exhale, thigh into the chest and squeeze, let the back round. The more you bring the thigh to the chest, the more strengthening. Good, stretch it back again. So we're loosening up in the hips, so we're doing some work for the joints. And as we draw the knee into the chest, we're also strengthening the abdominal muscles. right? And we need strong core muscles, abdominal muscles to protect the balance. Good, one more there. Good, straighten it back out again. And lower it back down. Nice. Actually, let's try turning the hands around. So lift the right hand, turn the fingers back towards you. Can you put the hand back down on the floor? And gently lean your hips back towards your heels. So you're trying to straighten the right arm and you're trying to find that beautiful stretch on the wrist. Good, release the right arm forward, back to where it was, and flip the left fingertips back. So the left hand flips back, the heel of the hand comes down. Gently lean the hips back towards your heels till you feel a stretch in the wrist joint. Good. Feel okay there?
Yeah.
Nice. Let's bring the left hand back forward. So we're back into a tabletop position. We're going to do the same thing again. And if you can add on, you can add on. If you can't add on, you just do what we just did. So we're going to slide the right leg back behind, toes curled under. Lift the right leg up off the floor. Can you engage this right quadricep, that right thigh? Press the right heel back. Good. Then come up onto the pads of the left fingers. So can you lift the left fingers? So you're just on the pads of the fingers. And then maybe, yep, I think it's your other left because you've got the right foot back. Can you bring the left hand forward?
Oh. Whoop.
Yeah, now, yeah, okay, so let's slow that one down. Yeah, good. So you like right one step at a time. You've got the right leg back, come high onto the pads of the fingers. We call that spider fingers. I don't know if you can see it, looks like this. Pads of the fingers, and then maybe lift the left hand off the floor and forward. Engage the belly, draw the hip points towards one another, draw the belly in. Breathe, big deep inhale, slow and steady, just like if you were on your belly. Nice, good, lower the right hand. Good, lower the left hand, lower the right leg. Good, you ready to try that on the second side? Left leg back behind, toes curled under. Press the heel back. Good, come on to the pads of the right fingers, spider fingers. Good, lift the left foot up off the floor. Squeeze that left buttock cheek, get a little extra strengthening there. Good, can you lift the right hand off the floor and maybe lengthen it forward? Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? Otherwise you just stay on the hand, right? It's challenging to balance on 3 points, even more challenging to balance on 2. Good, slowly lower down, right? And no point of judgment, but interesting to see that it was okay, right? You could do it on one side, but it's a challenge on the other side. Good, bring your toes together, your knees apart. Can you sit your hips back towards your heels? Right? So if you're watching this recorded and you've got knee issues, can't close the knee joint, you just stay with the hips over the knees. If it's safe for the knee joint to close, you bring the hips back to the heels. Good. And then stack your hands or your fists to support your head. That's a child's pose. Should be a very comfortable place to be. To feel the opening through the hips and maybe through the lower back. As you breathe, you feel the belly pressing into the thighs or between the thighs. And as you exhale, the belly deflates. So if you ever need a rest in this practice or any other yoga practice, this is one of the places you can come. Good. As you're ready, we're going to come forward back onto all fours. And this is where I thought you might need a chair. So I'm going to move a little closer to my chair. That's why I have a chair here. Actually, do something for me first. Can you come up to kneeling? Yes. Okay, so what we're going to do next, if you can't do it, we'll do it from kneeling. But also, if you're watching this recorded, you know that you can do this from kneeling. So come back to all fours. And what we're going to do is step the right foot forward. So we can do it, some of us, with our hands on the floor. Some of us, there's not enough space, so we're going to hold on to the front of a chair. and then step the right foot forward. It just makes space. Yeah, it looks like you didn't need the chair, but it might be nice to have the chair to hold on to. Let's see if you can do it without the chair, because those chairs are too tall.
Oh, Larry,
Yeah.
lower chair,
So like a kitchen chair or a folding chair.
lower chair.
Yeah. So Carol, I can't see you that well. I think you've got to heel toe your right foot in just a little bit so that your right foot lines up with your right hip. Yeah, so the chair goes at the front of the mat. Just for this one, and then we'll move it out of the way. The front edge of the chair, so that you can hold on to the front edge of the chair.
Like this?
The front seat of the chair. Yes, perfect. Faces the front of the mat. Nope, nope, the short edge of the mat.
Here?
Yeah, there it is. I know, it seems not intuitive, but we use chairs in all kinds of ways. Carol, can you hold on to the front edge of the chair? Is it close enough that you can hold the front of the chair? Yep, and step the right foot forward. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Now, if you don't need the chair, you can do it without the chair. If you need the chair, it's there for balance. So we want the right knee right over the right ankle, and press the right foot down and draw it back towards the back side of your mat. And press the back left knee down and imagine you were drawing it forward towards the front of your mat. And do you feel the muscles in your legs engage? Yeah. Now see if you can come upright without the chair.
Am I doing this right? I'm a little confused on what we're doing here.
Yep. All right. So let me go through that again. You have your right foot forward,
Yep.
and you have your right knee right over your right ankle.
Yep.
Right? And you have the left knee down on the floor, and hopefully there's no discomfort in the left knee.
So far, so good.
Left knee feel okay? Okay. Because we can adjust it. Nice. Now press this front right foot down and back. And you'll feel the muscles in the legs engage. And press the bottom knee down and forward. We call that scissoring the legs. It's like you're drawing in towards the center of the body. And when we engage like that in the legs, create stability, maybe you can take the hands away from the chair. Maybe, if you can balance there. I'm going to suggest bring the left hand back to the chair for safety. So bring the left hand back to the chair. Yep. Bring the right arm straight forward, up to the ceiling. When you hit your sticky spot, externally rotate the right hand. So turn the right hand towards the outer wall of the room. And then bring the right arm safely wherever you can go, back behind you and down around side you again. Yeah, we're going to do that 2 more times. Bring the arm forward. It's like you're circling the head of the arm bone, the top of the shoulder, in the shoulder socket. Good. Get up to the top, externally rotate the palm, bring it back behind you. Yeah, it comes from a joint freeing series. It's to help free in the shoulders. Good. Bring the arm 1 more time. Bring the arm forward. Yep, right arm forward, up to the ceiling, or wherever it comfortably goes. Externally rotate, that means you turn the palm out, bring the hand back behind, and back down. Good. Just out of curiosity, you still pulling through the legs, still strong in the legs?
Yeah.
That opportunity for strength, front heel down and back, bottom knee down and forward. Good. Now we're going to go the opposite way. Bring the right hand back behind you. Nope, same leg. Do you need a break? We'll go to the other leg.
I should have the other leg.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll do the other foot forward, left foot forward, because that's where you are. Yep, so you want your left foot straight forward. Straight forward. Yep, can you put it on the mat so it doesn't slip? Yeah, there we go. Good. Now press that front left heel, this heel, down and back, and press the bottom knee down and forward. That's scissoring the legs. We're engaging muscular energy. Hold on with the right hand and lift the left hand up. Good. Up to the ceiling. Back behind, however you can go. Externally rotate the hand, turn it out, and bring it down and around. So we're trying to keep the torso stationary. Good. 2 more times. Lift it forward, up to the ceiling. Externally rotate, turn the palm out, back behind, and down next to you. Good, one more. Forward, up, externally rotate, and come down and around. Good. Bring the hands back to the chair. Step the left leg back. Step the right foot forward again. Good. Re-scissor the legs. Press the front heel down and back, the bottom knee down and forward. It makes the muscles in the legs work, so we're strengthening the lower body as we open in the shoulders. So we're going to do the same thing with the arm, but in the opposite direction. So bring your right arm down alongside you. Good. Bring it back behind you. Externally rotate, turn the palm out. So the thumb is up, pinky finger is down. Come up to the ceiling. And then bring the arm straight out in front of you. And back down next to you. Good, two more like that. Back behind. Externally rotate. Up to the ceiling. Back and around. Good, one more like that. Back behind you. Externally rotate. Up to the ceiling. Good, back alongside you. Good, now bring the arm straight forward. Right arm straight forward, up to the ceiling. And back behind, straight back behind, and hold it there. Good, press the front heel down and back, the bottom knee down and forward to re-stabilize through the legs. And can you look back over the extended right hand? So that's a twist. We're trying to move just with the torso and keep the lower body stable. Good. Release the right hand back to the chair. Step the right foot back. Step the left foot up. Yep, straight forward, right out in front of you. So the knee is in line with the hip. Yep, see if you can keep your foot on the mat so it doesn't slip. Press that front left heel down and back and the bottom knee down and forward. Come upright. Good, now we'll bring the left hand alongside us. Bring it back behind. When you can't move anymore, turn the palm out. Good, then bring it up towards the ceiling. It's wherever you can comfortably go. Straight out in front of you and back down again. So what we're doing here is as we stabilize, good, turn the palm out, up to the ceiling, back in front of you, and down and around. So we're lubricating the joints, but we're stabilizing through the lower body. So we're strengthening the lower body and we're getting a little more freedom of movement in the upper body. Good. When you pause down on the bottom, reverse direction, bring the arms straight forward, up to the ceiling, back straight back behind. Good. Re-engage through the legs if you lost the legs, and maybe turn and look over that extended left hand. Left hand going straight back behind you because we're twisting through the torso and we're strong through the legs. Beautiful. Release the left hand back to the chair. Release the left foot back to meet the right foot. You can push the chair forward out of the way for the moment and come back to child's pose. All right, so we helped open up through the hip flexor and the front side of the thigh. By stabilizing, right, we used the muscles of the lower body to stabilize. And we did a little therapeutic work for the shoulders. And a gentle twist. So a few more breaths here in child's pose. Big deep inhale. Big deep exhale. Big deep inhale. The air comes in through the nose. And exhale out through the nose. Good. So now we're going to come forward off of child's pose, turn around and come back to laying on your back. All right, so we did a little work for the abs and we loosened up in the spine and in the shoulders and we did a little work for the legs. Now we're going to come to laying on our backs with the knees bent. So your feet are about hip distance apart and they're about a hand's length from your buttocks. Good, let's do that robot arms again. So bring the fingertips up to the ceiling, palms face one another. Press the elbows down into the floor. Press the back of the head into the floor. Lift the shoulders and roll them underneath you. like your shoulder blades are coming towards one another, and then place them back down on the mat. And then can you lengthen the back of the head towards what's behind you to lengthen the back of the neck? And Carol, does that feel okay on the neck?
With the pillow, it does.
With the pillow, and do you have the pillow?
Yeah, it's under my head.
Perfect, excellent. Now you can lower the hands down to the floor. Press the feet, actually, let's just do a little pelvic tilt first. So your pelvis, right, is the big, like, backside of your hips that's down on the floor. Roll it forward and roll it back. Like you're keeping the bones down on the floor, but you're rolling them like a rolling pin, rolling back and forth. If anybody remembers rolling pins. And then come on back to center and rock a little bit from side to side. Right, just the pelvis, that big pelvic bone, side to side. And then come on back to center. Press your feet down into the floor. Press your elbows and your shoulders down into the floor. And as you press the feet down, lift the tailbone off the floor and then lift the hips. Careful not to look side to side because the neck's in a compromised position here. And as you exhale, from the top of the spine to the bottom, unwind and bring the hips back down again. Good, hopefully that one made sense. So as you inhale, press the feet down into the floor. Yep, lift the tailbone, lift the hips. Good. Can you press up a little bit more? Squeeze your buttocks cheeks. Press the heels down, draw them back towards you. You'll feel the backside of the thighs engage. So you're strengthening the backside of the body and lengthening and opening through the front side of the body. When you're ready to exhale, lower down from the top of the spine to the bottom, coming on back down again. Good. Let's do 2 more like that. You feel okay there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Press the feet down, lift the tailbone, lift the hips. Yeah. Can you lift up a little higher? Can you press the feet down and draw back? Can you squeeze your buttocks cheeks towards one another? So many of us, our buttocks stop, like those buttocks muscles stop firing because we sit so much. So we really want to get that to come back. Good. From the top of the spine to the bottom, lower it back down again. Good. Then one more time, press the feet down, lift the hips up, squeeze the buttocks, draw the heels back, feel the hamstrings engage. Maybe lift up a little bit more if it feels okay for you, maybe not if it doesn't. And as you exhale from the top of the spine to the bottom, lower it back down again. Good, draw one knee followed by the other in towards your chest and give yourself a nice squeeze. Good, release any tension we might have created in the lower back. Good, release the left foot back down to the floor. Now, let's draw the right knee into the chest. So can you either interlace over the right thigh, if there's any issues with the right knee joint, or interlace over the right shin and draw the right knee out to the right. Use the strength of your biceps, that's your upper arms, to draw the right knee towards the right shoulder. And you're going deeper into opening in the hips. You're massaging your digestive organs, and you're toning your upper arms. All right, so we've got strength and length and therapeutic work all mixed into one. Now release the bind over the shin and lift the right foot up towards the ceiling, but keep the right knee bent. And hold on behind your right knee, really the top of the right thigh. And draw the right knee towards your right shoulder. Yeah, that's called the half happy baby pose. Now play with it. Maybe you roll the other knee, the left knee, maybe you roll it out to the left. Yeah, just see how that feels. Maybe it feels a little awkward. Good, let's bring the left knee back to center, back up. Let's bring the right foot back down to the floor. Good, now we're gonna bring the left knee into the chest. Either interlace the fingers over the left thigh, particularly if there's issues with the knee joint. If you have the space, maybe you interlace over the left shin. Draw the left knee to the left to avoid your rib cage, and then draw the left knee tight into your left shoulder. So it's also giving you a nice release for the lower back. It's massaging the descending colon here on the left side of the body. And really use your upper arm strength to strengthen those arms we were talking about. And the face is relaxed, and the neck, shoulders relaxed. Maybe, if it feels okay, roll the right knee out to the right. You'll come onto the pinky toe side of the right foot. Let the hips relax and open.
Right knee.
Right knee, the other knee, yep. Just let it roll out to the side. Good. Actually, let's bring the right knee back to center, right foot to the floor. Release the left shin and bring the left foot towards the ceiling with a bent left knee, and hold on behind your left knee, the top of the thigh. And you can use your left hand to gently draw the left knee towards your shoulder and flex the left foot towards the ceiling. Now maybe you roll the right knee, the other side, out to the side. Back into the half happy baby pose on the left side, and it's half bound angle pose on the right side. Might feel a little awkward, but it gives this nice opening for the hips, the inner thighs. Good. Bring the right knee back to center. Release the left knee back down, so both knees are bent. Good. Lift just the right foot. Can you cross the right ankle above the left knee? Yeah, we call that figure 4. Now, very carefully, can you lift your left foot up off the floor? Hinging at the hips, good, and bring it back down again. Carefully. Good, lift the left foot up off the floor, see if you can move from the hips. Good, lower it back down again. Nice, one more time, lift up and hold there. Identify your right hand, and bring your right hand between your legs. And identify your left hand, your other hand, and bring it outside your left leg, and interlace over the left thigh. And as you interlace over the left thigh, let the shoulders and the head rest comfortably on your pillow or the floor. And if there's any more space, you might bend the elbows, draw the left thigh in a little closer. You're opening a little deeper in the outer right hip. That's another spot that gets very stuck, tight, because we sit so much. Good, breathe, slow and steady. Big deep inhale through the nose, big deep exhale through the nose. Good, release the left leg back down to the floor. Release the right leg back down to the floor. Switching sides, we'll lift the left foot up off the floor and cross the left foot over the right knee. Good, flex the left foot. That's just gonna draw muscular energy in to protect the left knee. And if you can, hinging at the hips, lift the right foot up off the floor. Good, lower it back down again, carefully. Good, lift the right foot up off the floor. Can you hinge the hips, draw the knee in a little closer to your body, basically. Good, lower it back down again. Nice, one more time. Lift the right foot up off the floor. Hold there. Identify your left hand and bring your left hand between your legs. And identify your right hand and bring your, what's that?
Lost.
Okay, let's do that again. Identify your left hand.
My left hand.
Yeah, bring your left hand between your legs. Then find your right hand and bring your right hand outside your right leg and then interlace over your right thigh. Let the shoulders and the head rest back down on the floor. If you have more space, gently, right? Don't force. If this is space, maybe you bend your elbows. And that's going to put a little bit more tension on that left hip. Right? We're making space. There's freedom in the space. Right? When we're afraid, when we're stressed, the body contracts. It's like we get stuck in contraction. And the yoga helps us to like unwind and unravel that contraction. So the energy can flow. We find a little more freedom of ease, of movement. Good. Release the right foot back down to the floor. Release the left foot back down to the floor. Now we're going to slide the right leg straight out towards the end of the mat. And put the left foot on the right thigh or the right knee. Bring the left arm out to the left. So it could be straight out to the left or it could be a cactus arm. Yep. Then bring the right hand outside the left knee. And let the right hand glide the left knee to the right. So go easy here because this is a gentle spinal twist. And you said you didn't like the twists, so go easy. So we're keeping the left shoulder down on the floor and we're letting the left knee come to the right. And it's as much or as little as you choose. So we don't force and we don't push. And then pay attention to your head. So your head might go the same direction, so to the right. Your head might stay at center. You might get a nice passive neck stretch by turning your head to the left. See what feels best. So twists like this, they massage the internal organs. They often give a nice release for the spine. They help to reset the central nervous system. That's why you often see them towards the end of practice. Good, slowly unwind. So bring the left knee back up. Bring the left foot back down to the floor. Good, now bend the right knee, bring the foot back to the floor. Good, now straighten the left leg out in front of you. Bring the right arm out to the right, so perpendicular to your body. Bring the left foot to, the right foot to the left thigh or the knee, wherever it goes, fine. Then bring the left hand, use the left hand to glide the right knee to the left. So just let the right knee fall to the left. So the right arm stays down on the floor and the right knee comes to the left side. And maybe the head stays turned to the left. Maybe the head comes up to the ceiling, looking up, straight up. Maybe the head turns to the right. Feel that massage of the internal organs. Feel that nice release through the back of the body. And if you can find it, if you have the right shoulder rooted and grounded, you might feel that nice stretch through the front side of the right side of the chest. Good. Release the right knee back to center. And then stretch the right leg out to meet the left leg. And bring the legs a little wider apart, so towards the outer corners of the mat. And bring the arms out to the sides or alongside you with the palms facing up. And then one more time, press the elbows into the floor, lift the shoulders, roll them back, place them back down on the floor. Close your eye. Actually, just take a moment, check in, make sure your lower back feels okay. And if your lower back feels fine, you stay right here. This is final resting pose. If there's any discomfort in the lower back, you bend the knees, you bring the feet mat distance apart, and let the knees fall in towards one another. They don't have to touch. That's called constructive rest pose. And this is final relaxation. This is where all the work that you just did gets assimilated into your mind and body, into your whole organism. So see if you can let go and let yourself be supported by the floor beneath you. All right, Carol, I'm going to mute you because of the noise. So just know I don't have the ability to unmute you. So at the end you'll have to unmute yourself. But I think you can still hear me. So you have your legs out in front of you. Let the feet, toes roll out to the sides. Let the arms come alongside you. Let the palms face up. So when the palms face up, lets the heart, the shoulders open, lets the space for the heart to melt. And then with the eyes closed, bring your attention to your feet and relax your toes, the arches of your feet, maybe the top of your feet. Relax both feet. Then relax your ankles. Relax your lower leg, your calves and your shins. Relax your knees and your thighs. Relax your hips. Don't just be soft and supported by the floor. Relax your belly, your rib cage, your chest and your shoulders. Relax your upper arms. Relax your elbows. Relax your forearms. Relax your wrists. Let the back side of the palms rest heavy on the floor. Relax the palms of the hands and all 5 fingers of each hand. Then relax your neck and the front of your throat. And then bring your attention to your face. Can you relax all the muscles of your face? Relax your jaw. We tend to hold a lot of tension in our jaw. Maybe open your mouth wide, make little circles with the bottom jaw. And as you softly close the mouth, let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Then soften your cheeks. And let your eyelids soften. Relax the muscles of the outer eyes. Relax the muscles of the inner eyes. And relax your forehead and the space between your eyebrows. Can you let go even more? And in the privacy of your own home, you can always feel free to stay here longer. If you're ready to come out, you bend one knee and bring the foot to the floor, and the other knee and foot to the floor. And then you roll to one side and use your bottom arm as a pillow for your head. Call that the fetal position. And then as you're ready, you gently press yourself up. Oh, Carol's already there, to a comfortable seat. So maybe you sit on your pillow, The legs can be crossed, the legs can be straight. And as you bring the hands together at heart center, yeah, you can keep the legs straight, you can cross them, whatever's comfortable for you. Hands to heart center. Bow the head to the heart in gratitude. Thank you for taking the time to practice with me. May you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be free. Namaste.